Okay, we are live with the Wayfarers Guide. This is my partner in hosting Dragon Scale In, and I'm his partner in hosting Mr.Soul-Lutions. And we're doing the Wayfarers Guide thing today. We're going to make sure that the audio is working. Say something, Dragon.
Yeah, let's make sure. Hiya, how's everybody going? Hope everybody's having a great time. And I'm gonna assume we're waiting on the delay over there. Yeah.
We are. We are.
Yeah. And I'm pulling up all your stuff too.
Yeah, the audio is in fact working. You were sped up in that little clip, but we're good to go. All right. So we're back.
Good. All right.
We're back this week after like 2 weeks of absentees and weird technical issues. So that's super exciting. You know what? I probably should listen to this a little bit more. Just make sure it stays good. But Dragon, how are you?
I'm here, sir. I'm here. I've been a little struggly the last couple weeks, but I'm managing, and I'm trying to get it together and do some stuff. But I'm here.
I'm glad you're here. I've been dealing with things too, but I am here. You know. So, um, all right. Yeah, no, you're still sounding good. All right, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure the audio was sustained. I've been having some weird audio problems on my streams.
It's Monday, so you know.
Yeah. It's Monday. Your little internet sped up crackly, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna kill one of the places where I'm watching this at, and that might help. All right. So yeah, there we go. All right, but we got me, we got Dragon. We're out here. We're doing the Wayfarers Guide thing. Hopefully, finally. I still got some tech issues, like the app I'm drawing the map in. It is totally not working right now. Like, so I'm gonna have to reinstall that after the
Oh
show.
no.
Yeah, I know. But the app I'm drawing
That's
the
bad.
background in is working, so that's actually fine. So
Oh well, that's good.
yeah, so we can fill it with that. Um, Man, it's been a rough 2 weeks. We haven't really been able to do the show. It's been quite crazy.
Well, I mean, we did half a show last week. we
Yeah,
did half a show.
yeah. I wasn't really feeling the half a show thing. That really wasn't the jam.
I need to dang.
The
It was,
Okay, so I was
it
I
was
was
fun. When you took off, I went ahead and talked more about some monstrous races and some things that I wanted to do. The game parts, anyway.
okay. So I'm losing you somewhere on the internet, and I'm not sure where. But go ahead and give me a talk one more time.
I was just saying that after on last week's show, after you left, I was busy doing some monster discussions of things that I think that we could put into the game and ways that we can utilize some underused monsters. So that was really all that I talked about last week, and we went over a few monster manual entries and some things like that.
Okay. All right. So before we go too much further in today's discussion, I'm doing a speed test. All right, so my internet is still good. So I'm hearing you break up in the connection on my end, so I know the stream is hearing you break up as well. But we're gonna push through that. I don't know what's going on.
I will drop a couple of those.
Right, but I'm losing you in the connection. But so you talked about some underused monster races that you wanted to use in the game. Is that right? You know what I found
Creator.
also while I was going through files and stuff? I found where I keep my D20 folder and all of my books. And
Nice.
yeah, man, bruh. So I'm gonna bring this.
Nice.
I'm gonna bring this screen over here. You know, we're gonna. Okay, so one, we were trying to talk about the new format of the show last week. Because you see, the show has a new format. My computer was giving us some problems, or me some problems, not us, because you know. But because of that, and I had to not reformat all the shows, but redo all the shows. I looked at some smarter ways to kind of share our real estate together, and then even share our real estate on the split screen, or the share screen that we go to. But let's look at my 3.5 folder. I think that'll be fun. Wait, no.
Yeah, let's do that.
How did that happen? That's hilarious. All right, hold on. So, why are you on 2 displays?
Welcome to Monday.
Welcome to Monday. Like, okay, so this has you as display 4, which should be. Why is that happening? Then it's saying there's no properties available. That's all right. Watch me do this. Add a scene. Display 4. Okay. What is Why are you on 2 screens? I don't understand.
I'm taking over the show. It's my show now.
It is your show now. All right, hold on. Okay, add display source or display capture. I must have mislabeled something. Nope.
That's all right.
That's just. What is happening?
Oh, that's great.
Okay, give me a second. I gotta verify.
It is Monday. Welcome to the
It's
show.
Monday. Welcome to
You
the
guys
show.
have not been here before.
Right.
You guys have not been here before. Know that this is how it works.
This is how it works.
Episode 10,
Monday.
right? Are we on episode 10 or episode 11 now?
I think it's
Bro,
9 technically. With all the misses and things, it's 9. Right? Like, okay, so give me a second and I'm gonna fix this with the chroma key because there's nothing behind you there. I know why.
Yeah.
yeah. That's all right. I got this. So we'll go back here real quick.
Like I said, welcome to Monday, guys.
Welcome to Mondays. It's all good. This is the thing we do.
It is. This is every Monday. We readjust. We show you how things can go wrong, so that you can make these adjustments in your own content before you go live.
Man, bruh.
Because even when we do it beforehand, we still do this later.
Yeah.
And it just anyway, like we still end up doing this over and over.
Yeah.
Regularly.
Yeah. This is the life that we live on the Monday show.
You bet.
Yep. I don't even get mad about it no more. I just be like, it's the Monday morning show. This is how I'm starting. This is how I'm starting my week. This is just it. Now I got it figured out, right? And also, you see, I got a new cam.
Another new cam?
Well, it's actually
that put you at like 8 now.
It's actually a really old cam. It's like one of my first webcams, but I decided to use it as a point to this monitor cam for when I'm doing work stuff, right? Like, but at any rate, we got the core books here. Actually, let's change the view so we get that. Oh, it's PDFs. They don't give us previews no more. The PDFs.
They do not give you previews. That's right.
Because they're dumb and changed everything to the web. But you see, we got Players Handbook, Players 2 Handbook, Monster Manual. We got everything we could bring up for you now, full scale, digital style.
And any books that you are missing, I'm pretty sure that I have, so I can fill your library out.
Well, dope. Why do you
So
keep doing things? It's the Monday show.
because
Okay.
that is what it does.
But yeah, now we can do
This is
this.
like the weekly reset. We should just call it the weekly reset.
We should just call it the weekly reset, dude. Like, oh my God.
And just start at 10 a.m. on Monday morning and call it the weekly reset.
But we could
And
do
we'll
this.
just
We could do
do that.
this now. We can share in a full digital sharing content style with you books. We can make them nice and big so you can read them. Look at that, 175%. So now we can we can all explore the world of D&D 3.5 together on screen.
Now, you are using a window capture for that, right?
I'm doing a display cap for this, so I'm display capping my same display that I always do the art on and stuff.
For anybody out there that wants to know how we are sharing this screen like that.
Yeah, actually,
this screen here where we are is a shared window from our Discord call that's split up and restacked with some special effects that he has put in behind me because I'm in my bedroom with green screen deal, and he is in his studio where professionals work. And then that screen over there, is that the right way? Or am I, nope, that way because I am the first.
Yeah, that's right. Now you got it.
Over that way is also a screen share window capture.
Yeah.
On that he's opening the books in. So that's how that works. If anybody is interested and had questions about that.
And then there's actually the new camera I was talking about is pointing directly overhead at that, well, not directly overhead, but off to the side and overhead of that screen. So when we go back to drawing and stuff on the show, you can watch me actually draw. And that's just another video capture that is just placed up in that window. Actually, what we did was add a chroma key to Dragon's window so that you can see that background and not his bedroom. So, one day I'm going to urge him to make his bedroom a display so that he doesn't have to use that silly chroma key stuff.
One day, sir, I will have a room just for this, and I won't have to worry about it.
One day.
And I'll have light setup the whole nine. It'll be great. I'll look just like your studio.
You know what?
I would 15 computers. I would love 7 chairs on 10 different desks.
You know, because I was thinking. You know what? I was thinking about Padre Podcast this morning, right? And I was like, you know, when we finally get around to setting that show up, you know, it's going to be the same type of scenario with you and Moxie, where you're going to be behind this green screen. He has this awesome background and room. You know, it's not an awesome dynamic.
It's when I'm doing things by myself, which is what I've done for the last 4 years. It hasn't been a problem.
Okay, I get that. But, you know, there's people that want to work with you because you're awesome.
Well, I appreciate that.
But we do now have access to the digital books.
Every time I open one of these books, anytime I open one of these monster manuals, I see new stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, that. I want to put that in it.
Well, let me pull up one of the monster manuals. Right? And which monster manual are you in?
Right now I'm in 4. 4. Right now I'm in 4.
I have 4.
Do you have 4?
I have 4.
Very cool.
Actually.
So one of the things that
one, right?
One of the things that I'm looking at, yes, with the blue spawn of Tiamat on the cover, yeah.
Yeah, what page are we on?
So one of the things that I'm really interested in is lizard folk. If you go to page 83 in Monster Manual 4, they have a subset of lizard folk known as the Dark Talon tribe. And this is something that we're going to need to look at in this world creation that we're doing, where the particular races, as they're listed in their main Monster Manual entries, may or may not be suitable for the uses that we're using them for our game. In our world, the monstrous races have been sort of evolved in a way that they have created class structures and societal structures together And the humanoid races are all working towards an economy base in general, not all, in general. And because of the way that we've designed the world, this might be a way that we want to look at the races um, without just looking at the goblin entry or the gnoll entry. We might want to make and design particular kinds of tribes with special notes about the way they interact with the world and the way that they interact in the cities that they're in and the things that they do. And this Dark Talon tribe is kind of that way for the lizard folk. Um, it details a particular sect of lizard folk monsters that have a particular ideology and a religious bend and a class structure that's all laid out here in these couple of pages. And some of them are lower CRs and some of them are higher CRs. And it really just depends on what you're trying to do. But this layout for the lizard folk and the Dark Talon tribe gives you a few options and some ways to look at monstrous races that are non-standard for your game worlds. And you can design other classes based on these by giving them new class features or class levels and adding the CRs onto the monsters as regular class levels would. But you can design them with specific feats and skills and things in mind that give the whole unit as a group a function that they may have not had already. These lizard folks are soldiers and warriors on a religious quest, and they're run by a Dark Talon king. They also have shamans and stingers and wasp riders and stuff like that that are different sects of lizard folk than the normal monster manual entry. And I think that these are very interesting to look at. Because I know that when we're looking at the monstrous races in the city, we're going to be looking at the different jobs that they're going to fulfill and the ways that they'll interact inside the city, and they'll need class levels and skill bases and a little bit of altering from the normal monster manual to fit in those roles.
Okay, well, one, why don't we, since we have the section pulled up, why don't I go ahead and read the little lizard folk Dark Talon tribe section thingy, and then let's talk about it. Bam.
Yeah.
As detailed in the monster manual, lizard folk are primitive reptilian humanoids that lurk in swampy places. Most lizard folk tend towards neutrality, but the example tribe described here is an exception. Encounters with the Dark Talon lizard folk can form the basis of an adventure path. The Dark Talons are murderous lizard folk toughened by alchemical infusion. With black dragon blood, they seek to conquer lands controlled by other humanoid races, spurred on by their mad king Yarshag, and fanatical druids. Excuse me. The Dark Talon march from their swamp on a sinister crusade. All right, so definitely this is a monstrous race with a purpose. Yashrag's alchemical process makes one of the three Dark Talon lizard folk stronger, tougher, and meaner. The troops are given special training with the Great Club. Okay. The Dark Talon soldiers presented here had the following ability scores before racial adjustments. They had a strength of 15, a dexterity of 13, a constitution of 14, an intelligence of 10, so they're pretty freaking stupid, a wisdom of 12, and a charisma of 8.
Remember that 10 is the base average plus minus 0.
Right, so they're like really stupid. Like, they're stupid.
Well, they're just there's no modifier. They're a base intellect. They don't get any negatives and they don't get any positives. They're like random normal people.
And in my mind in D&D, that's random normal stupid.
Well, all right. That's what it is.
I'm just saying. Like, I mean, you can
look.
You can
spoiler, my man.
Hey, Yakiba has summoned the dragon. All right, nice. But no. I love your happy dance. Oh, you gotta eat the nasty things. Well, I hope
it's not a nasty thing.
This is the time on the show where Dragon has to eat a bean boozled.
Eat gross things.
which may be gross or may be awesome or might be awesome.
Yeah, it might be.
Right. It might be supposedly
Spoiler, pick a
awesome and
color.
still may be gross. But we're gonna
Pick a
find
color.
out. Who, me?
The fish one. You don't get the what color is the fish one? Oh Lord.
How come I
Dead
don't
fish
see your chat
or
going?
strawberry banana smoothie. All right, it's either dead fish
Oh, because I'm looking
or
at the wrong
strawberry
chat.
banana smoothie.
Because I'm looking at the wrong chat.
All right, it's either dead fish or strawberry banana smoothie. Spoiler, you have never, in the time that you've been subbing to me, got me a good jelly bean. So I'm very wary of this, but man, good Lord, here we go.
Subs are fun.
No, it's not fish. All right. It's a strawberry banana smoothie, and while it is not the best tasting one, I will handle that all day.
Oh,
Thank God.
Look at you. You got the strawberry banana smoothie.
Oh, God. Whoo.
So, I don't know if you
Last
noticed.
time you did that to me, that taste was in my mouth for like 2 hours. What in the world? Oh, damn it.
Modern Bard, get him. Look, you know what? Let's just change the show. Let's just change the show into making him try random things. Go ahead and hit him on the subs, y'all.
Oh. Let's try that again. You want the same color choice or you want a different color? Same color. Oh, crap. I know there's only so many of those ones that are good in here. It's probably going to be the fish one. This is going to suck.
Oh, I decided to drop your chat over here with you where it belongs, since it's so active.
Oh, it's another smoothie.
What?
How did I manage 2 in a row on that? Oh, thank God.
The graces of the gods.
Dude, there are so many of these. There's no way that I just randomly picked 2 of the same.
Ah, you just got the good luck. Go get a lotto ticket.
Oh, no shit. Really? Like, dead ass. I need to get a lotto ticket for that. Oh. It could have been so bad. These are the worst idea I ever had.
What are the chances?
Ever had. Ugh.
You know what? While
Yes.
he plays with jelly beans, I'm
Yes, not no.
gonna do some some setup stuff.
Perfect time for it.
Man, ain't it?
Spoiler and Bard, thank you so much for the subs. I greatly appreciate it. That is.
Boom.
You have not missed much with the D stuff. We were just talking about. We were talking about altering monster manuals. Right now, we're looking at the Dark Talon Tribe lizard folk from the Monster Manual 4.
Yep, that is exactly what we're doing. I was actually right in the middle of saying that these guys are D stupid at intellect 10, and Dragon was like, well, that's normal intelligence, and I'm like, well, that's D stupid, and that's exactly where we were with that. So you can scale that statement up or down to real life however you feel like, but base intelligence 10 is D stupid. So there you go. So, anyway, strategies and tactics.
It's D. It's D average. I do have some of the sword and sorcery books. I think right now we're just building world stuff, so I hadn't really gone into detail work and pulled all that out.
Also have
really
the sword
what
and
we've been doing
sorcery
for the
books
last-
over here.
Oh, awesome. So yes, if we both have the books, we will definitely be moving through Sword and Sorcery. And I don't know if Steve has them or not, but the creature collection from the Scarred Lands is also really good.
I don't know. Let's verify.
And those, even the good ones are not entirely great. I'm super happy to have the fruity one over the fish one though. I'll tell you what. Woo!
No, I only got Alderac Entertainment books and Wizards of the Coast books right now.
The Scarred Land series came out during 3.0 early. Like it was one of the first side publishers that put monster manuals out under the open gaming license of the D20 system.
Yeah, if you got the
And
PDF, you need to.
I think I do. I'll double check and I'll send you. We need to Dropbox a bunch of stuff, I guess.
Yeah, you see this right here though?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, we need to get real adventurous one day and go super old school.
Oh man. Yeah, that's scary.
And it.
I mean, we might as well just play some old Spelljammer.
But I got
Let's go.
some. Let me see. I got a Athenium Arcanine in here. Classes, the core books, D sheets, Eperon settings, Forgotten Realms. So let's see. In the core, we looked in the core books already. We're going to classes.
Mm-hmm.
So complete Adventurer, complete Arcane, complete Divine, complete Masonic, complete Warrior, Defenders of Faith, Masters of the Wild, Song of Silence,
That's
Sword of Fist, Tome of Blood.
That's the brown set, right?
Yeah, it's this set right here.
The brown paperbacks.
Yeah, it's where you go? Come here, you. It's these right here.
Mongoose published. Oh no! Those are the complete books. Okay, I thought you
yeah.
were talking about the Mongoose books.
No, I don't have my. You know what? I don't have
These.
my Mongoose files anymore. Yeah, I had those. I don't have those anymore.
I'll send you those too.
Yep.
Definitely have those.
I mean, and technically, I'm sure I have them somewhere. I just when I found out where all my books were, I just made sure I extracted 3.5 books. You know what I'm saying? Like the D books. Let's see.
Yes.
I do got Sword and Sorcery, Relic and Rituals though. Sword and Fist, Etera, Assassin's Handbook, Complete Prestige, The Horde, Slayer's Guide to Amazon, Tome of Blood and Battle, Tome of Magic. Actually still got
The Tome of Blood and Battle is a really good book.
Song
for
of
those
Silence,
of you out there that don't know.
Spell Compendium, Sandstorm. I still got quite a bit of these books in here still. So
Sandstorm's also really good. There's some really interesting. See, a lot of those side books that they published later on in the 3.5 run, they're not great books as a whole, but there are fabulous trinkets of good bits inside of them.
and everything is what you make of it, right? Yeah, I got Fiend Folio. I still got quite a bit of my whole 3.5 library still. So
Woo,
we're actually
good.
we're good there. Tome of Blood, Tome of Battle, Tome of Magic, Ultimate Prestige classes. Yeah. Weapons of Legacy, the Slayer's Handbook to Winter Wolves. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Oh, no. I don't limit anything in the 3 set, mostly because the 3 and 3.5, if there is a rule set that is contradictory, a rule says that it's whichever one is most beneficial to the moment or the player. So whichever one of those it is the way that the rule functions. And we've set up a few house rules on some contradictory rules between 3 and 3.5. I know that the awaiting spell and initiative changed from 3 to 3.5. And we use the 3.0 rules for those because they're more beneficial to the player. And don't deter from using those things that involve that. So there are a few house rules, of course, and we'll go over those as we get to them. Because I honestly don't remember all of them off the top of my head. I just know how we always have run the house rules when we play.
Boom.
But we're talking about adjusting monster entries to fit a tribe or a subsect of a species so that we can utilize them properly in the world that we're building. And since our world has its own storyline, its own lore, and its own creation, monsters have to fit into it the way that we need them to. So for that to happen, we'll need to adjust and create story lore that's best for their races and works towards the story angle that we're building in the long run.
I got a question. Do we want to mark the books up? Yeah. Watch this. So we can totally mark them up and take notes and rewrite things the way we want to rewrite them in the books.
What?
Right. So here, stick with me for a second. So I'm gonna.
We're about to get a skills lesson, guys. Watch this.
Yeah, we're gonna open up Critter, right? And I'm gonna open up a file, and I'm gonna open up a PDF in Critter. So give me a second. Mass storage. Yeah, that's exactly where I want to be.
Boys.
I just thought about this like just now. D&D books, D&D 3.5, core books, Monster Manual 4. You said what page were we on?
The Lizard Folk Dark Talent Tribe is on 83.
83.
Yep.
All right, that was actually 82. Let me go ahead and open up one more.
I was like, wait. Hold on.
So we actually need 84. Chatao. Okay.
Yes, there we are.
There we are, right? So now, assuming we wanted to, mark this up, right? Now we can be like, well, let me get a new layer. That's probably smart. And what color are we writing in blue? Let's make it black, or red. Black is fine. And why aren't you drawing? Okay. Why won't you undo? Because I haven't set up nothing on this program yet. Because I've been freaking...
Because it doesn't wanna.
Right, because I've been freaking recovering for a week or 2 weeks now.
It's been about 2 weeks you've been getting your computer back.
Yeah, bro, it's been crazy. All right, notes. Right. Okay, so now we can take notes right on the sheets, and then we can, come back to the notes on the sheets, and it'll be good. If we want to do that.
It's epic.
And
I never even think about that because I literally have the books in front of me, even with the PDF versions on my computer. I never think about writing notes on the pages because I don't do that on my books.
Right. And you can do this on the
There's
computer.
There's a whole separate book for it, yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm making a whole separate page, file for the notes. So we'll save the note file, and then we'll always have the reference, and we can build our own game book out of the pages we pull and then annotate.
Oh.
So that'll be our DM manual. Our Dungeon Master's manual, yeah.
Depending on the wording and the open gaming source license, open source licensing, that might actually be a thing we can do.
I mean,
actually,
technically, I think it is. I mean, that's what D is anyway, right? We're just
Well, but what Wizards did in 3.0, very different and why they made 4.0 in the first place, because they wanted to get away from the open gaming license that they put out for the D20 system in third edition. The open gaming license was literally what it calls itself, was an
Yeah.
open license for other publishing companies to use their IP and publish their own material.
Yeah, I get it.
It was by
get
far
it.
a driving factor on them moving away from 3.0 and starting another version, just so they didn't have to worry about the open license anymore.
No, I understand.
Kind of upsets me a little, but I'll get over it. The game's still good.
Tis. Aha.
I think your pencil's a little wide. There you go.
Yeah, no, I thought I changed the size of the pencil. I changed the size of the eraser.
That is not the same thing, sir.
That is what I want. All right. So we want to use these as a main focal race in storytelling, right?
Well, it's like this for sure. I do like the lizard folk. I don't know if I want to use the Dark Talon tribe specifically, but it would make a really interesting antagonist, especially for the monstrous city, because they would be dealing with another monstrous race that's doing bad things to them.
No, I like using these guys as a world antagonist plot line that is outside of, you know, what's going on with the undead and those things, right? So we're gonna be like main adventure use. That's an ugly ass.
Yeah, they're easy to use like that for sure. And then too, you add in the cultural restraint then, because if the party is fighting these lizard folk out in the swamp and it's just a different tribe of the lizard folk than the ones that are in the city that they go to, then they have this idea that, oh, those lizard folk in the swamp attacked us. Now they have to worry about their ideals and their biases in the game while they're playing it, to figure out what they think about these lizard folk. And I like that dichotomy where they're like, oh, wait. And they have to actually treat individuals as individuals, not just a race. And I much prefer that.
Okay. So, yeah, we're going to start collecting pages like this. And then as we figure out what we're going to do with the races, we will annotate them accordingly. If we want to change things like CR and stuff, then we'll do so here.
Remember we looked at that Armands last week?
Yeah.
The little true mole looking sand people?
Yeah.
I definitely want to have some massive desert spot, because the more stuff I find in the books about a desert, the more stuff I want to put the party in a desert.
Okay. And we have Sandstorm and all. Okay. So I want. Hey, what's up, Law Evolution? Thanks for joining the show. I'm sorry I'm not looking at the chat because I'm staring at the drawing screen. But thanks for joining the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So we got Sandstorm. One of the things is we got all the regional books, right? So I want to take advantage of that, right? I feel I hate worlds that are not expansive. You know what I'm saying? So I hate when I land in somebody's D game and we're in the forest in some freaking small town. You know, we're fighting, the demon lord. I hate this run-of-the-mill D game stuff.
It's cliche.
It's so cliche, right? And a lot of that does come from people's lack of material, right? Like they don't have enough of the source stuff, like things like Frostbite.
I've never had that problem.
No, you've never had that problem. But a lot of people can't invest, in D material. It's expensive. right?
Well, and I'm aware that I lucked my way into the library because I had players that while they could not afford to purchase their own library, they could buy a book, and since we all played together, they donated them to the library. I
Right.
also had a friend of mine from years ago buy large sections of the library by himself, and he was not buying them for him. He was buying them to come play with us because we were the only people that he played with.
Right.
So having people that played with us that could afford to buy them did afford me a luxury in having the library, and then anybody that ever played with me also afforded the luxury of having it. So I'm aware that I had a hell of a hand to get us where we are on that.
So, and then we also got a large digital collection about 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I don't know. Like, it was a long time ago. We got a large digital collection.
15-ish.
Yeah, we got a large digital collection. So, not everyone is fortunate to have a large library of books that they can draw information from so they can run these like massive scale games, right? So a lot of times you wind up going to a D adventure, and it's like the player's handbook, the DM, and like maybe two monsters
Oscar
manuals.
Manual.
Right, and then
Yep.
that's the whole game that gets to be built, and that makes me so friggin' sad. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're lucky if you get there and they got like a monster manual. You been to those games? You know what I'm saying?
I have not, luckily, because everybody that I play with has played for a long time, and we've always had the library around.
Yeah, see, so I've been playing tabletops since like the late 80s, since like 88, 89, right? And back then you would go to a lot of different tabletop games like D or like MERPs, early Rifts when it was coming out, right? Those games. And no one had a library of books, right? It was always like, you go to Joe's house and Joe Schmo has got the base book for the game and
The base playbooks.
the
Yeah.
base playbooks, and then that's the game that you gotta run off of, right? So I'm excited for us to build this very, very, very expansive world, and we can build a very large size world with all these different terror environments, right? We can have a large size desert
Oh, yeah.
and a large size Arctic scape. We can have ocean adventures. And we have all the books to support, making that type of game and producing those type of monsters and the environment. So, this should be fun. This should be fun.
Yeah, the difference, Bart, is that you make up the game on the fly with no books and no rules. You just go. So that's a very different thing altogether.
Yeah, no, totally. And you know what? I'm not really a big fan of those games either. Like, I like a very specific.
Depends. I have to give Bart credit. He has always been very good at keeping it contained, even though the over-the-top parts are not restricted. So the game itself is a good flow. The characters all work together and do the things. Even though the over-the-top is completely ridiculous, we find things we definitely shouldn't. It really comes down to the players playing in the games that he builds, but he does a good job of doing it. So I got to give him props on that at least.
No, you know
do
what?
have rules. They're just your rules.
I haven't played in the game, so I don't know. So I ain't gonna. I'm not knocking the game. I'm just saying, like, prospectively and in games I've been in, the more refined the world building is around the D books, the better the game is. You know what I'm saying? Like, the more somebody has access to the materials, the more they can build like a really structured, solid world. Like, like, these are things we're gonna do when we come into this area. These are things we're gonna do when we come into this area. Like, like, these are the monsters I have for this area, because just all of it just becomes more expansive.
Luckily, we have also had the pleasure of playing with some very creative, very genius writers. You, me, Jake, a friend of mine, Mike, a couple other people that I've played with. There, all of the game masters that we've had around us and working with us and doing the things that we do and showing us how to play this game when we first started doing it. All of those people, luckily, I have had in my life some very amazing game writers, and that's really what it comes down to is the quality of game boils down to the work and effort and creativity that the DM is putting in on the game and the amount of effort that the players put into taking the game as seriously as the GM does. And I'm not saying that players shouldn't play and have fun because it is a game and we should all do that. But there is a level where the ridiculousness outweighs the seriousness and the game just becomes a parody of what a D game is, and there's a fine line between those two things.
I think what you really are trying to say when it all comes down to it with that is the game is in the responsibility of the game is in the hands of the DM and the player, right? So the DM has to provide the world, but the character has to provide the role play, right? Like, see, okay, so my roommate, your friend Chris Paul, and I, we get into this argument quite often, and he's always like, I'm just about the numbers of the game, but honestly, that kind of devalues the game. Like
It can, yeah.
it's cool that you can roll big numbers and make amazing things happen and stuff, but the game is actually about the role play part. Like, you're supposed to get lost in the fantasy of it, right?
And when he says he's about the numbers and whatever, when we were playing in your game and Reaver and his character were getting into things and doing stuff, we were absolutely role playing and playing the way that the character function. So as much as he wants to talk about the numbers and the dice rolls, he's just as much into the character development and the story arcs as we are. So
and I know he is. And I know he is because I watch him play the game and I watch him role play, right? But in his mind, it's like I'm not really into role play, like. But okay, he said okay. He says that because I've been trying to introduce a sterner world build, right, to gameplay, like with like a leveling system, and like you have to start off as a commoner and then figure out what you're going to do through your story, stuff like that, right? And that type of slow build play, he's like, that does not sound attractive to me, right? But like, honestly,
it does to me. I'm about that.
No, I'm totally about that life, right? Like,
dude, I want you to give me 3 commoner levels right off bat and let me just see what happens.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna give you 3 commoner levels, right? Let you run around the world, touch the story,
skill points for days. Son.
Yes, touch the story, feel what's actually going on in your environment before you're going on an adventure. Right, live it like it's an actual fantasy novel. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the D game that I actually want to run with people. But everybody's like, "Oh, it's so gross."
The funny part about that is, that is how Bard's Gestalt games start. You get a commoner level and you need to find people to teach you skills and feats before you can them.
Bard, I love you, man. That is the type of games that should be built.
Literally the way his Gestalt games function, and they're built very well. I am never interested in designing a game like that.
Oh no, those are the ones I'm most interested in designing.
Where I want to go find a teacher to teach me pickpocket skill and sneak skill and this one feat that's obscure, and I have to find someone to teach me a class level. And nah, bruh, hold up.
No, that's exactly what I'm
interested in. Can I just take my level when I get my experience?
Nope, no, you cannot, because the real world does not work that way. You don't just get magic levels. Yeah. You need someone to teach you some shit.
I am aware.
Yeah, no, Bart, I'm with you, man. Like, that is okay.
Yeah,
that's how you run a game, right? Like, that's how you make someone get invested in their character. That's my opinion, anyway. Like, that's how I get invested in my character for sure. Like, for sure. So
It was a lot of
yeah.
fun. I'm not gonna lie. Playing in his games are super fun, and I like the idea of it. I am just not trying to GM that kind of game.
Oh
Like
no,
that's
that's what
that
I'm
is a
actually. That's actually what I'm trying to DM. Is that like, yo, that's
that's
it
a
right there
lot,
for me.
yo.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be hard pressed to keep up with getting encounters and do all the other stuff. I don't need to figure out where you're gonna learn the mushroom growing. I don't know.
No.
That's
That's my idea of the DM fully considering their world and all the characters in it and who does what and where they are. Like,
no,
okay,
you're absolutely right about that.
did you see the 3D maps I was building for this world that I was trying to? Did you?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I was totally like, people are gonna live in those
I will
buildings.
happily fill all that stuff with story stuff. I will. Absolutely.
Yeah, no,
I would love it.
It was gonna be a total RPG like experience. Like, you know, you're gonna wake up like, so you woke up in this town, and you're the farmer's son. Congratulations.
Welcome to it. Let's go.
Welcome to it. Let's do it. What do you do? You're the bar owner's daughter. What do you do? Like,
You're serving drinks, I guess. Hurry up.
right. Go talk to people and figure out what your day entails. Like, I promise you, if you talk to people, I'll get you on the story. But you got to go talk to people. Yeah, no.
Yeah, you got to do that thing first. Though.
Right, you got to do that. You got to do that RPG thing first. Like, you got to get out there. You got to meet the village folk. You got to do some chores. You got to chop some wood, chase some chickens.
Wait, the village people are here? Can we have a concert?
You said what? And no, that's right. You don't go to sleep and wake up with new spells. That's some BS.
No concert? Okay.
What are you talking about, crazy?
You said the village people. I was like, YMCA? Let's go.
Oh, who said the village people?
You said the village people. The village.
Oh yeah, the villagers. Yes, you need to go meet. Oh yeah, I said the village people. Oh, I'm guilty of sin. No, but
Yeah,
no,
I
really,
joked it.
that's my idea of building a game. Like, honestly, that's my idea of building this game. Like, if you let me go and be like, you know, take care like how the mechanics are gonna run, I'm gonna be like, yeah, everyone's a commoner. No one has skills. You need to go figure that shit out. Like, for real.
I mean, and we may end up that way, but it definitely will not be quite the way Bard's Gestalt stuff functions. Because honestly, that's a fucking headache. Like, like, there's no class building structure whatsoever. There's no like the class structure doesn't work because you're
hey, Tanya Love, thanks for joining the show.
You have to figure out when you earn a feat, you have to go figure out what feat you're gonna get and go find a trainer for it and then spend time doing it. And then on top of that, you don't just get to add your skill points. I mean, you get them like when you have enough experience for a level, you have skill points. But unless they're a passive skill that you're learning as you go, like sneak or some of the pickpocket that you could train yourself, you are not getting the generalized occupational aptitude tests. Yeah, that stuff.
No. I straight up agree. Hey, nice change on the logo. Oh no, you went to Twitch. You hit me on Twitch too. I was about to say nice change on the logo, Lord. That was fast. Nah, I see what happened there. It's cause I'm reading the unified chats, you know, in my OBS and not the chats on the different streams. So, you know, I got hit by the same person in two different chats. I'm like, pshaw, pshaw. I was like, what? But yeah, no, Tanya Love,
nice.
What is up? Thanks for joining the show. Law, I'm still glad you're in the show. I know we're talking about some weird ass D&D shit right now. But honestly, for all of you who haven't watched the show before, this is a show where we will convert all these things that we use in Dungeons and Dragons to build this game into real life skills. and how you can use them to, do other things that you might want to do, like streams or edit things, or just, I don't know, like this thing with the PDF, right? Like, you can always bring a PDF into an editor and mark it up. You can do that for your business. You can do that for a thing you need to sign. Like let's say somebody sends you a digital document and they're like, you need to print this off and sign it. You do not need to print it off, right? If you have some
Just
type
open
of
it in a PDF viewer, just like this.
Yep. And if you have any type of stylus, signature done. So,
That's
that
a very,
noise.
very, like, you can sell that as an NFT, right?
I suppose.
That particular square.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody will buy it as an NFT, but sure, I could try to sell it as an NFT.
Hey, look. Look, we were just talking about merchandising, you know what I mean? It's another piece of merchandising.
It's just another piece of merchandising. But that's the point, right? So all these little stupid little things that we do that seem to be extra, because I do a lot of extra tech things on here, are actually to teach you, one, what you can do with technology, to how you can apply technology to doing things like building a game world, which we are going to take, and we're going to slowly develop into a paper game, and then develop into like a RPG style maker game. So we're going to put it into RPG maker, and we're going to keep building on the game. We'll play it live with you guys if you're interested, so you'll be able to join us on the game as we build it, and play in the world with us. We'll want to host multiple games, I think, right? Yep. We're going to host multiple games,
I believe that is the goal.
So if you're joining us for the show on the first time, that is the goal of the show. So you can learn some cool things and some things you might not have thought you could do. Excuse me. And also maybe join a fun D&D game if you're into that crazy stuff. It's not really crazy. It's actually super fun. It's one of my favorite things to do. I can't lie. I really love Dungeons and Dragons. I always have since I've been a whippersnapper. It is by far
one of the most creative hobbies ever.
It is, and it takes art. It takes writing. It takes organization skills.
Really,
yeah. Or nothing. Yes.
It can use all of those things. It can utilize any strength, any weakness that you have, or none of it altogether. You come with a completely fresh, clean slate and build a new skill set.
Yes. I find though that a lot of the things that I have learned over the years, honestly, I've learned by playing Dungeons and Dragons. My interest in Dungeons and Dragons, miniature painting. So I learned fig painting through Dungeons and Dragons.
Social skills, creative endeavors, story writing,
leadership skills,
plot lines, organizational skills. Yep, all of that stuff.
All of that stuff. I learned through playing Dungeons and Dragons. So, it's actually